Right, I've got a lovely array of colours here, and we're going to look at the card folds for the 15 by 42. Now, you know, many of you that have purchased them in the past would have your crib sheet, and if you've purchased recently, particularly from Hobby Maker, you will have a downloadable PDF. Let me pop that just there so I can read that. These are 15 by 42 centimetre card blanks. No score lines in these, and this means that we can make lots of different card folds because there's no direct score line. Okay, you are going to need a centimetre scoreboard, but if you don't have a centimetre scoreboard, you can still do these folds because most trimmers, if I just bring my trimmer out here, most trimmers will have inches and centimetres. So this means you can actually do these in your trimmer. So if you do not have a centimetre scoreboard, you can still do them, because what you can do is, say, line up your card, pop it where you need it, get your small ball tool and create your line. Okay, so if you don't have a centimetre scoreboard, use your trimmer. And if you need a trimmer like this, Pink Frog have got these available on their website as well. I've got a centimetre scoreboard, so I think without further ado, we will make a start through the folds. So let's start off with a classic tent fold. So this is your C5 landscape. Okay, so I've got the long sides. So when we look at a piece of card, this is what we call the short side, because that's short, that's long. So when we ask you to score on the long side, you want that long piece at the top of your scoreboard. So that's your long side. Okay, so for this, you're going to score at 21 centimetres. Give that a little burnish, just with your bone folder, and straight away you've got your C5 card blank tent fold, which you can have landscape or you can have portraits. So if I bring one in here that's got the matte and layer on, you can see what I'm talking about. So you've got the landscape version, you've got the portrait, and this size will go in your C5 envelopes. So that's your first one. So now let's look at the gatefold. So long side again on your scoreboard, and you're going to score at 10.5 centimetres from each end. So 10.5, give that a half turn and score at 10.5. Give these a burnish. Burnish those in, and you've got your gatefold cards. So if I bring in a black and white one, you can see with the mats and layers, you've got your black and white gatefold, and again this will go in a C5 envelope. Okay, so that's that one. There, put that there. So the next one we're going to look at is a pocket tent fold. So this is good if you want to give a gift card or money or anything like that at all. So you're going to score again at 21 centimetres. And then you're going to score at 6 centimetres. You're going to do a half turn and score at 6 centimetres. We're going to give these a little burnish. You'll notice with the card you never get any cracking going on with your Pink Frog card. It never fails to, it does never let you down. So we're going to make 2 little pockets here, and I'm going to bring in some red line tape for this. Now you can use your 6mm red line tape or your 3mm red line tape. just to create a little pocket. So on this end, you're just going to pop a little bit of tape on there, and we will snip the end and a little bit of tape on that one, and just snip the end. Turn that round and do the same on this other end. So as I said, this one is great if you're gift giving, if you're giving a voucher or something like that, or if you do give money in cards, you can do the same there. Or a little coupon. It could be, you know, a coupon for a spa treatment or a day out or anything like that. So with your red line tape, give that a little burnish. You'll see it change colour, because it's when we burnish it, it's pushing the fibres of the glue from the red line tape into the fibres of your card. And then we just remove the backing. By burnishing as well, it helps to the backing to come away quite easily. Fold that over. Give that a lovely little burnish again. Do exactly the same on this end. Fold that over, and then you've got your pocket on either side to put your little voucher or card in, and you've got a lovely 10-fold card. So if I bring the black and white version in, you can see here you've got your little pockets to take your gift cards. So that is your 10-fold one. So now let's look at a trifold card. So I'm going in on the long side again, and I'm going to score this at 14 centimetres, and then I'm going to do a half turn and score again at 14 centimetres. We'll give this a little burnish. Now this card can be used in many ways. Okay, this is called our trifold. So let me just share it with you. So you've got 3 panels. So you could just have that as 3 panels you're going to put something on as a mantelpiece pleaser. However, you can also use this for aperture cards. So if you're someone that does cross stitch or embroidery and wants to do an aperture card, what you would do is have that as your card blank, cut your aperture out of the front one here, pop whatever you want behind it, stick that down, and you've got a lovely card there to go with an aperture in it. So we call this the trifold, but it can also be a single aperture card. But by having those score lines on here already, it means you've got more choice. Okay, now if you want to fold it in on itself and have it like that and like that, can you see it slightly bows? You might just have to take a slither off that edge if you wanted to fold it that way. But you've got several options with that trifold card. So that is your trifold cards. Let's bring in the pop-out cards. So it's all right, I'm running out of space here. So let's bring in the pop-out cards. So for this, you're going to need 2 card blanks. You're going to need one like we've already done, which is our original 10-fold card. So you've already seen me do that. So you're going to make 1 10-fold card. So that is your score down at 21 centimetres. Your second card, what you are going to do is you're going to score at 21 centimetres. And then you are also going to score at 10.5 centimetres. And then you're going to turn it around and score it at 10.5 centimetres. Give these a good burnish. So by giving them a burnish, you're making like what looks like a M or a W. Now, again, this card could do several different things for you. Let's glue it into the card blank first so you can see, and then I'll explain what I mean. So I'm going to take the first panel and pop some glue on here. It could be glue, it could be red line tape, you choose. Okay, so you're going to take your first piece and you're going to match it up with one end on the inside of your card blank. Press that down, give that a little burnish. So you've got that's going inwards, and then we're going to do exactly the same on this end. So on the last panel, you're going to pop some glue. Okay, and this time, let me try and do it this way. You're going to match it with this end. So just match it up with that end. Okay, just match those both up together. Give those a little burnish. So this again will go in your C5 envelope. And that is your pop-out card. So it folds nice and flat to go in your envelope, but a lovely mantelpiece pleaser. Now, the other thing that you can do with your pop-out cards, let me bring it in, is you can do your pop-out card with an aperture. So if I bring the black and white one in, so you can see you've got your 4 panels. If you've got, say, a circle die or an oval die, you could cut an aperture in the middle. So when someone's looking at the card, they can look through to what you've got going on the back. So yes, it's a pop-out card, but this could also be an aperture. You could also string a little something that's going to move around inside there. So you've got a swing card. So this is your pop-out card, but again, could be so much more than just your pop-out card. So let's go to the next one, which is your easel card with no mats. So this is an easel card made with one sheet of your 15 by 42s. Okay, so just made from one sheet. So you're going to score at 21 centimeters, and you're going to score at 15 centimeters. Give a half turn and score again at 15 centimeters. Give those scores a little burnish. Give those a nice burnish down. And then we're going to put glue on this piece. So as it's laid out, you're just going to put glue on this piece. Okay. Give that a nice little burnish down again. So that is going to give you your easel card. And then I've got a stopper here, so I can bring in some of my large foam pads just to create a stopper. Your large foam pads are absolutely perfect for doing this. Oh, let me get that end off there. Okay, that's that one. And then that one. So pop your easel to where you want it to be. Stick your stopper. You can spend more time with the decoration of your stopper, but you've got your easel card with a stopper, but it folds nice and flat in a 6x6 envelope for postage. So that is your easel card with no stopper. I think I've got another one just here. There we go. The black and white version that's got stuck. There we go. So you can just see with the concept card how that works with your stopper, nice and flat for postage. We've next got a double gatefold card. So again, with the long side at the top, you're going to score at 14 centimetres and 7 centimetres. Do a half turn and score again at 14 centimetres and 7 centimetres. Give these a burnish. So you're going to burnish in like a zigzag because we've got a double gatefold going on with this one. So nice to put in your small square envelopes, but also gives you that lovely mantelpiece pleaser card. So there is your double gatefold card. So you've got all that going on. And if I bring the black and white one in so you can see with the mats and layers how nice it would look, but nice and flat for postage. So that is your double gatefold. Now let's look at our side gatefold card. So this time you're going to score at 15 centimetres, and then you're going to turn that around and you're going to score at 6 centimetres. Give both these a burnish. And that gives you your lovely side gatefold. If I bring the black and white one in just here, you get more of an idea with the mats and layers how it can look. And that will go again in your C5 envelope. Okay, so that's your side gatefold. Let's look at a Z-fold card. So we're going to score at 21 centimetres and 10.5 centimetres and give those a burnish. Fold that one back on itself. And you've got your lovely Z-fold card. You bring the black and white one in with the mats just so you can see you've got that lovely Z-fold card. But again, folds flat for postage and will go inside your C5 envelopes. Now the last one on your sheet is your inverted stepper card. I'm going to do this one in white so you can see exactly what I'm doing. Now if you follow the instructions on the sheet, and you've got me as a guide as well with your video, we're going to do 2 lines. We're going on the short side and we're going in 3 centimetres and we're coming in at 3 centimetres. So sort of find that spot. I'll try and bring this down a bit more in the light. There we go. Let's bring that down. So we've got 3 centimetres, roughly about there. If you're not sure, do a pencil mark as well, and you're going to score right down. I've got centimetres on mine to 24. So I'm going to go all the way down to 24. Okay, now I find it easier to turn my card over and do the same thing again, so you've got the same thing going on. So just flip your card over, find 3 and 3. Okay, so find that 3 point. Again, do your score line to 24. So you've got 2 score lines. You've come in 3 centimetres and you've come in 3 centimetres, and you've done your lines. So let me move the scoreboard out the way at the moment. So if you're worried about scoring this one, or you haven't got a scoreboard that's got those measurements on, do not worry. I'm going to share with you quickly how to do this with your ruler as well, because this inverted stepper is a lovely card to make. So what you're going to do is if you just get your ruler and you're going to mark 3 centimeters. So I've gone a little bit over, so just do a little pencil mark just there, and then do exactly the same on that one. So you've got 3, and then you're going to do a mark that's going to take you right the way to 24. Okay, so if you didn't want to do this part in your scoreboard, you can do it with a pencil and a ruler. Okay, so you've got your 2 lines. You're now going to find your, she says it's under all my cards. You're going to need a craft knife and a ruler with this one, because this will not fit in my paper trimmer. So just take your ruler with your craft knife. I've got one that's got the finger guard on it. Okay, in fact I'm going to take it off my blending mat, because that will cut my blending mat and that would not be good. Working on a glass mat is easier personally, because you're cutting into the glass. You can use the other mat is a self-healing mat, but I do find the glass one gives you a crisper cut. So that's your first one. Let's just take that off so you can see you've got that first cut. In fact, let me just go down there because I missed that bit. So you've got your first cut, and we're going to do exactly the same on this one just here. So just line that up. If you've made a pencil line with a ruler as well, do not worry, because pencil lines rub off. Okay, so there's your 2 lines done. Let me put my lid back on there for safety and pop that to one side. So you've got your 2 lines that are done. Now bring your scoreboard back in, and this time you're going to put the long side in your scoreboard, and I want you this time to score between your 2 cut lines, not on the outside, between your 2 cut lines. So find the 3, which is about just there, and you're going to do 3 centimeters score between the 2 cut lines. You're then going to do a 6 centimeter score. Now what you can do, if you're stressing with this, if you put your ball tool underneath and find number 6, that's another way you can do it. So that's another way to do it as well. So we've done 3, we've done 6, and now we're going to do 24. So you could lift that up if you want, but you can find your 24 and go between those 2 cut lines. Okay, and now I want you to find 20, and you're going to score 21, you're going to score 21 from the outside in to the first score line. And then I find it easier to flip that over and go 21 in to the first score line. Okay, let's move the scoreboard out of the way, and then you're going to do your valleys and mountains. Fold. Okay, just lay it on your mat. So you've got all those going on, and then give those a little burnish, and there is your inverted stepper, which looks absolutely glorious. And if I bring it in here, this is one with the mats on, so you can see a lovely inverted stepper, folds nice and flat and goes in a C5 envelope for postage, but also stands up. So they're all your scores. So let's just recap over all of them. You've got your landscape that goes in a C5. You've got your landscape gatefold. Move that up there out of the way. You've got your tent pocket one with your pockets. You've got your trifold that you can use in several ways. Use it for aperture cards. got your trifold, you've got your pop-out cards, you've got your easel card made from one sheet of 15 by 42 centimetres. You've got, there's my double gatefold. You've got your side gatefold. You've got your Z fold. And you've got your inverted stepper. So that is all your folds made with your 15 by 42 inch card blanks from Pink Frog's Cut Crafts and Cards.